Okay, next we are going to talk about our auditory learners. So generally they learn best by hearing. And a way to remember this is the 3 R's. So there's rhythm, rhyme, and repetition in stories. And so that helps a lot. And the first one that I'm going to show you is one that I really love for bedtime stories, and it's called B is for Bedtime. And the whole story goes through the alphabet. And so it says A is awake, how I feel after dinner. B for the book with my dad, it's a winner. C for the clock that tick-tocks on the wall. D is my dog who's not sleepy at all. So there's rhyming and there's rhythm to it, and the illustrations are really cute too. And just a cute little story for bedtime. The next is a series that we have 4 in currently, and they're coming out with 2 more, but it's called Muddle and Match. And so we have jungle animals, monsters, Imagine, and a more masculine boy version of Imagine, which has the same people in it. It's just called Adventure, I think. So each of these, I guess I'll show you Imagine, has these little flip-flaps where you can mix up the characters, and it's really cool, it's really fun. And on every page, you know you've got the match right when they're all the same colors, but sometimes it's just fun to like mix them up and make them as wacky and crazy as you can. But when you have them all the same, you'll see that there's a lot of alliteration, or they use the same starting letter, starting sound when it's being read. So Madeline the Magnificent Mermaid moves through the magical waters to meet with minnows in the moonlight. My girls really love these, and they're really fun to read, and great for the auditory learners too. And then we have some musical and sound books. This one is geared towards babies. It's Baby's Very First. There's a lot of the Baby's Very First noisy books, and so this one is The Farm. And there's like not any stories in it, but it's just big pictures that appeal to their visual sense, and then the auditory, you hear the cute little music or sound effects that go along with every picture as you flip through the book. And it's really not, I would say that all of our noisy books do really well, in the sense that like I get kind of irritated if something sounds annoying, and these don't. So this is for the older kids. We obviously really love The Farm, but so these are like animal noises and things like that, and then at the end you got like all of the animals out together. But they're really fun. And then I also wanted to show you this because we have a few musical noisy books, and I think the music is just beautiful. It's actually recorded from real instruments, so it's not electronic sounding. Just let you hear that instead of me talking over it. And this story is called Little Children's Bedtime Music Book, and it goes through all the animals are playing their instruments at night, getting ready, putting their little ones to bed. So those are really cute. And then another one that appeals to auditory learners is nursery rhymes. So we have this starting nursery rhyme book, and it's got just very basic nursery rhymes for young beginning kids to listen to, and just the basic nursery rhymes. So that one's really good. And then we also have a nursery rhyme book with a slipcover, and it's cloth bound with really pretty illustrations, and again the ribbon bookmark, and it's got tons and tons of nursery rhymes in here. It's got a lot of classics and then a lot of ones that you may not have heard before, but so this is great to be read to young children and appeals to the auditory senses that way. The next thing I want to show you is our dual readers. This is one of our more popular ones. It's the Complete Book of Farmyard Tales, and it actually comes with a CD, so they can hear it if you're not reading it to them. But so this whole book is full of little short stories, and on every story, okay, so here's the first one. It's about Curly the pig, and so Pig gets stuck. But in every story, this is about Apple Tree Farm, and every story has a line of simple text at the top for beginning readers to read themselves, and then a line of more complex text at the bottom if they're being read to. And you can either read just the top line or just the bottom part, and it still makes sense. Actually, if you read it together, it still makes sense too. There's also a little yellow duck to find on every single page, and in all the stories in this book. So that's really cute and a really great storybook for that. Here's another dual reader that we really like. It's Princess Stories. And having two girls, they both really like these princess stories. So this is all about Greystone Castle. So all four of the stories in this book feature the castle. And again, the little yellow duck is in this one too. Then moving on, if you have someone beginning to read, our phonics books are really awesome because they all rhyme. So you have Big Pig on a Dig, and it's got really simple text with little pull-out flaps. Little pull-out flaps on some of the pages to make it more interesting. But the rhyming really helps them to learn how to pronounce words. And then at the end, you have the phonics for all of the words that they just read about in that book. So these are really simple little paperback books for $6.99 a piece, or you can get a collection of those stories. This one's $19.99 and comes with a CD. And it has several of our phonics stories in that. This one's called Ted and Friends. And also it still has the pull-out flaps in some of the stories in this one too. The last one I'm going to show you in this auditory video is the Illustrated Classics, and I love all of our Illustrated Classics books. This one is a compilation of, it's called Enchanting Stories for Young Readers. And it's a compilation of just some really popular, well-known stories. It's got Railway Children, Wizard of Oz, The Secret Garden, Black Beauty, Little Women, and Heidi. And the illustrations are all really beautiful. So each story, it gives a little blurb about the author too, which I think is really cool. And so they're just shortened versions of the real literature. And so each story has, like, I'd say 5 to 10 chapters in it, but the chapters are like six or 10 pages long. And so they're really short, plus there's illustrations on every page, so it's just like a little blurb on each page. But really good for like bedtime stories and things like that. So this is the Illustrated Classics series. And that's all I have for you for the auditory books. If you have any questions, let me know.